Hey everybody, Steve here, and in this week in Coach's Tips, we are questioning the efficacy of 4 main back exercises. Hey everybody, welcome back. Steven here, and in this episode of Coach's Tips, we are comparing 4 main back exercises and the muscle activity between the 4. Now, the study I'm using to compare these 4 was published back in 2004 in Dynamic Medicine. It is titled The Variation in Muscle Activation Levels During the Traditional Latissimus Dorsi Weight Training Exercises, an Experimental Study. So what they did, they took 12 university-age men, all with at least 6 months of resistance training experience, and they put them through these 4 exercises. The first was a wide grip lat pull down, again, and in all 4, bringing the elbows to a 90-degree angle. Next was a reverse or narrow grip lat pull down, and again, 90 degrees. Next, they went over to the seated row, and they did a seated row, bringing your elbows in nice and tight beside you to 90 degrees. And then the last one they did was a seated row, but keeping your shoulders down and back, keeping your shoulders retracted. So point number 2 that I have here is wide grip equals wide back and narrow grip equals thick back. That is based on the idea that when you do lat pull downs and you're pulling vertically, it's going to target your lats more and therefore give you bigger lats when compared to seated rows. When you pull horizontally, targeting your middle and lower traps and your rhomboids, and therefore giving you a thicker back. Now in point number 3, I will talk about the findings and let's figure out if that is actually true. Okay, so point number 3, impact of the findings from this study. But first, what were the findings? I know you've been waiting to hear this. What they found was that seated rows, when you retract your shoulder blades, actually had a higher muscle activation for your lats than a traditional lat pull down, which is something interesting to note, something that before reading this article I did not know myself and found it very interesting, so hopefully you did as well. What they also found was that they had similar levels of bicep muscle activation between all 4 lifts. So in short, the study found that when comparing all 4 of those exercises, that seated rows, when you keep your shoulders down and back, have a significantly higher muscle activation of your lats than a traditional lat pull down. So more on point number 3, what are the impacts of these findings? So just because they found that doing seated rows had a higher lat muscle activation, should you stop doing lat pull downs? The answer is no. My issue with most studies in the strength and conditioning community is that they use a really small sample size. For example, in the medical community, if we were to have a study with 12 people and they found that drug X is better than drug Y, everyone isn't going to go run and use drug X. I feel the same should be applied to the strength and conditioning world. When we have one study with 12 people and they find that doing exercise A is better than doing exercise B, we should really wait until we have more studies and really wait for a meta-analysis. I will talk more about that in a future video. I've brought that issue up numerous times on my other social media feeds, but regardless, I think these findings are really, really fascinating, and I did not know that before. But am I going to stop doing lat pull downs? No, I'm not. Hopefully you guys learned something today. Don't forget to click that like, share, and subscribe button, and stay tuned for next time. We have TRX Tuesdays coming up where I do a little TRX circuit for you guys. Hopefully I'll get another one of these videos up for Coach's Tips by Friday, and then every weekend I will give you guys a rundown from the training that I've done and why I've done it, because you know, or better believe, that it is all based on evidence. So thank you very much, and you guys have a good one. Till next time.